Welcome to Invisible Strings, where we tug at the little threads that hold our lives together. From mental health and relationships to marriage, motherhood, and all the beautiful chaos in between. I'm Katie, your guide to navigating life's tangled web, one string at a time. Think of this as your weekly dose of insight, sprinkled with a bit of laughter, some heartfelt chats, and maybe even a happy tear or two. So, whether you're juggling a million things or you just need a break, let's untangle life together, because those invisible strings, they're what keep us connected. This is Invisible Strings. Let's get started. Welcome back to Invisible Strings. I'm your host, Katie, and today is an extra special day for me because I'm joined by my two favorite people in the entire world, my daughters, Olivia and Whitney. They're 16 and 14 and navigating high school in 2025, a time that comes with its own set of challenges and changes we've never experienced. Today, we're diving into their world, what school really feels like, how friendships evolve, the pressure they face, and how they hold on to their faith through it all. So whether you're listening in the car, folding laundry, or just taking a break, you're in for something heartfelt, honest, and real. Hey, girls.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me in my awesome studio here.
Oh, yes. You're welcome.
We are on vacation in St. Augustine, and we have this beautiful Airbnb, and we thought we would do our interview from one of the bedrooms. Yeah. You guys can talk louder because it will pick you up, even though it's like over by me. Okay, so thanks for coming and agreeing to talk to us about high school and friendship and faith and the things that are hard because it's so much different now than it was for us when we were younger. As you guys know, like you have little portable computers with you everywhere you go. So everything you're doing is being recorded and photographed and and all the information you want is literally at your fingertips. So I think it's a really exciting time to be going through high school, but also probably a really confusing time.
Yeah.
You guys agree? Okay, so I guess we can start with, what does a day in the life of a schooler look like? Do you want to start, Whitney?
So I usually wake up at 6 a.m. and then we're at school until 3:05 and it starts at 8:10. And then after school, I'll either go to cheer or track depending on the season. I'll just go home and do any homework that I have. Then I go to bed.
And what is it like in classes now? Because like when we were in high school, we didn't have distractions like cell phones and stuff like that. We literally just had to sit there and stare at the teacher. We passed notes. Are you guys allowed to have your cell phones with you in school? Are you guys texting during school? Like, what does that look like?
I mean, I guess it just depends on the teacher. So some teachers, I had a class last semester and I think I probably talked twice because she would never let us talk, and we were just staring at her. And then I have a teacher this semester, which we're like on our phone the entire class. Like we can do whatever we want.
Does it feel like overwhelming to have so much information right at your fingertips?
No, it's kind of nice.
What are you doing in track?
Running in pole.
What are you running?
The 100. Oh, 100 and 200.
Yeah.
Meter.
And pole vault. Yeah. It's been really fun to watch you do that.
Yeah.
What made you want to go out for track this year? Because it's never been something you've done before.
Well, I just wanted to do like another sport that like you're doing more activity in.
Yeah.
And like actually like be a part of a team.
And it's a really cool team.
Yeah. I started listening to this like
co-ed, and it's like number 1 in the state, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
It's a really good group of people, I think, and
Everyone's nice.
Everyone's really nice and welcoming. Yeah. And the coach is exceptional, I think, and I think he expects a lot from you guys. And do you think that being part of like an extracurricular helps you do even better in school?
I feel like the extracurriculars are the only, like, your coaches are like the only people that actually like hold you to standards. A lot of teachers think that you're going into school just for the letter grade, which most of the time it is because of how hard. Well, most of the time it is that way because of the pressure I think that teachers and the administration, coaches, parents put on you to get that certain letter grade to then have that transcript that's going to look great for colleges to get into that college that you want.
So, does it feel like everything is about, like, you're in high school right now, you're supposed to be enjoying high school right now, but everything is about college?
Yeah. Like, I think at least once they all the teachers are like, well, we're just preparing you for college.
Uh-huh. And so, even with your athletics and your sports, you're like, and your clubs, you're like, what more can I do to look good on my resume so I can get into the college I want to go to?
Yeah, 100%.
So, the pressure from school itself feels intense.
Yeah.
Or is it just pressure you put on yourselves?
I think it can be both. I think, many people strive to be great at sports and at schools because we do want to be able to be successful in the long run of life. So I think we put pressure on ourselves, but then I think the school also can put pressure on us
Yeah.
to do great.
Yeah. Olivia, what is one thing about high school that you would say adults totally don't understand?
I think one thing that's hard for adults to understand, like that they don't understand at all, is like probably how hard it is to make genuine friends. Like you can try to make friends and you could have a lot of friends, but they're not necessarily always going to be genuine. And you want to be surrounding yourself with the right group of people to make yourself successful also.
Yeah. Do you think that, and what do you mean by successful?
Like the people that you surround yourself with, I feel like it has a lot to do with who you are as a person. So if you're going to surround yourself with maybe not great influences, you're probably going to turn into something like that. If you're hanging out with people that vape all the time, you'll probably end up eating. But if you're hanging out with people that are going to church every weekend and reading your Bible all the time, then you'll probably start doing it too.
Yeah, there is a statistic out there that talks about, the people who you hang out with are the people that you become. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And I completely believe that being true. Like if you're in a room with with a bunch of people that are being negative all the time, you're probably going to be negative. Yeah, like why would you be positive?
Right.
And if you're hanging out with people that are positive all the time, you're going to be positive. So you think that something that adults don't understand is how hard it is now to make friends.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just hard for you guys because your expectations of what friendship's supposed to look like is so different than a lot of the people that you go to school with.
Yeah.
I have done a lot of work in the school and have met a lot of the kids that go to the school, and I do truly feel like the kids in your high school are great kids, and I just think a lot of them are lost. And what would you say what reason would you say that that's true? That a lot of the girls and boys that you go to school with are struggling with confidence issues. What do you mean?
I don't know, there's like always those girls on TikTok that are like, they just like are like so, they have such an amazing body, and then like, because they go to the gym every single day, and then they look so pretty because of all the filters that they have on, and they're like, stuff like that, and then girls just expect themselves to look like that in one day, or guys.
Yeah, I feel like there are probably more guys in your school that are struggling with mental health issues than there are girls.
Yeah, 100%. I also think it's due to the parents. I think I've met a lot of people, I think that their parents, they don't, I think they care about them. I just don't think they put enough, like, they don't spend enough time with them, maybe necessarily, or they are allowing them to do things because they don't want their kids to be mad at them. Like,
they want to be friends with them.
Yeah, they aren't necessarily parenting them. They're allowing them to do things that it isn't normal to do as a teenager.
Yeah. I think that then probably aligns with the fact that they themselves are not happy and self-confident in their own lives.
Yeah.
And it's hard to raise kids, period, but it's hard to raise kids when you yourself don't have the tools to get through life. Okay, so now we're back, and I want to talk about friendship. Both of you guys have you've had totally different experiences in school in general with friendships. And we'll start with Olivia, because since you were little, you've always had lots of friends all the time. You just do. You have a lot of friends and you have no problem making friends. When Olivia was little, you would find something nice about literally any single person and she would compliment them. I mean, I remember one time we were at a grocery store and there was a girl, the girl that was checking us out. She was so sweet. Her face was completely had tattoos everywhere. She had a million different earrings hanging off of every part of her face. And Olivia found one of her earrings that had like a butterfly on it. And she complimented, I love your butterfly earring in your nose. And she would specifically find something about every single person and compliment them. And it could be an old lady. It could be, I don't know, like the prettiest girl in the room. And people would always be so taken back by it. And like in such a good way. Everyone would always be so happy about it. And you have always been able to do that and been able to make friends wherever you go. Once you got into school, grade school, middle school, high school, again, you were able to make friends so easily, but it didn't matter the number of friends you had because the quality of friendship mattered more. And so while you were always surrounded by so many people, you always just had one or two really good friends. So why do you think that it's been harder for you to make really close friendships?
Well, I would say it's harder for me to make really close friendships because I would say I've always trusted people a lot. Like, I give them the benefit of the doubt. I always put my full trust in people. And I think kind of starting in high school, I've been like burned a lot. Like, people have like ruined my trust that I give into them. So it's just, I'm protecting my peace at this point.
Yeah, you're protecting your heart. And we've had so many conversations about that. And as a mom, it's so hard to watch people be mean to your kids and knowing that they do truly have like the purest hearts. And it's not just saying, oh my gosh, my child could do nothing wrong. Obviously not. But it's truly like you really have trusted so many people. And some of the things that have happened to you have been so hard to watch and to try to maneuver just as your mom. And I think it's been hard for you to maneuver yourself because your thought process has a lot of times been like,
what did I do wrong?
What did I do? Like, why would they do that to me?
Right.
Why would somebody do that? Why would
Like someone that I thought that cared about me also.
Yeah. But it's so interesting how God shows you who people are pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If you're available to recognize it, wow.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
We've had some interesting things happen, and I say we because we were both involved in one of the things that had happened to you randomly when I called you that night.
Yeah.
And just God is so faithful and really does show you who people are if you're like open to see. Yeah. And people have told me that I have the gift of discernment. And I think that you guys also have that because you pretty quickly, and I think you've learned over the years, meet people and you're like, they seem bright.
Yeah.
They seem like light.
Yeah, 100%. You can be my friend, but I don't know if you're necessarily going to be a person I'm going to hang out with all the time.
Yeah. Now Whitney has been completely different where she always has a lot of friends and you always had a lot of friends since you were little. Always. Whitney's more reserved, so she's not going to tell people anything about themselves as we walk through stores or anywhere we go. It is her friends are close to her and she's silly and funny and outgoing with them. And you've always had a lot of people surrounding you, a lot of good friends for a long time. And you've always had the same group of friends also. So Whitney has had a different experience with friendship. She has a lot of friends and she always has a lot of friends that are surrounding her all the time. I think that the group of friends that you've had since fifth grade has been pretty much the same group all the way until this year, since seventh grade, fifth grade to seventh grade.
In seventh grade, a lot of things like changed. So like in seventh grade, or in sixth grade, one of my good friends moved away, and then seventh grade, I like got close with like a huge group of girls.
Yeah.
And I obviously didn't end up staying best friends with them, for the longest time. And then in 8th grade, my friends changed a lot. And my friend who had moved away moved back, and we got super close again. And then I got close with like a lot of other girls. Some of them ended up being like super negative and just whatever. But we're still close. Like we can still talk to each other as friends. We're just not super close. And now I kind of definitely have a smaller group. So like 5 girls, 6 girls, something like that, compared to like 10, 12 girls that I would hang out with constantly.
Do you feel like it's better to have a smaller, tight knit group of girls?
I think it is just because like whenever I had the bigger group, I felt like more things could get spread easily, and like there's just like more opportunity to like for things to be said.
Yeah. What do you think? Have you been able to like throughout the last couple of years, have you been able to see what qualities are in a good friend
Yeah.
for you specifically?
So like someone who's definitely like positive, confident, and someone who can be like an extrovert and an introvert. So like you don't have to be going outside doing something all the time, like going to dinner every single night or like doing something like super like that every single night.
Yeah.
And they can just like stay home and just like you just like chill with your friend inside.
Yeah. Sure. Well, it sounds like someone who's confident in themselves. So like they could go out and have fun, or they could stay home and watch a movie.
Yeah, and stuff.
They don't need to like be part like the center of the party all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So I want to talk to you guys about a friendship that has impacted you both in a positive way while you've been in high school, and why it's been such a positive impact on your life. Do you want to go first, Olivia?
A friendship that I think has for sure impacted me in an amazing way is my best friend Madison. I remember meeting, it was actually like 1 year like today that we met in our PE class, Mr. Science PE class. We loved that class. And we were freshmen. We had the brightest hearts and eyes, and we loved Jesus. Yeah, we didn't really know it at the time, but we were just going to be best friends and worship and love Jesus together. And the whole reason even started was because me and her wanted to get on this fitness journey of eating healthy and working out all the time. And now we're here a year later, best friends, and hanging out and having a lot of fun.
How did the fitness journey end up for you guys?
I don't think we got 2 weeks into it.
But I remember you coming home and just talking about this girl that you're going to do Bible study with.
Oh yes, also that.
And you just love her, and you're going to love her mom, and she's so bright, and I'm just so excited to be friends with her.
Yeah.
I love Madison more so much. Okay, Whitney, what is a friendship that has influenced, or friendships that have influenced you in a positive way?
I would say my friendships with Leighton, May Goodwin, and Ava Nicole Waters have impacted me. They're both just like very, very positive, and they're always open to going to church with me and talking about God and stuff like that. And they're just like, well, they're just very confident in themselves. Like they don't need anything to define their worth for them except for Jesus. But in any single time anything happens, like I could just be at the beach. Ava will always text me and be like, hey, how's the beach going? Or if I'm not feeling well, she'll always be like, hey, like, how are you feeling? She'll always make sure to check up on me and make sure I'm doing okay. And Leighton, she always has a smile on her face. I've never seen her upset. I don't think ever. And whenever someone's upset, she'll always like pull me aside and make sure that like I'm not in a negative mood anymore. Like just make sure everything's okay. And she'll always turn a negative situation positive by saying something good.
Ava's mom is like that too. And that's such a cool quality to have, because it just means that they're thinking about other people and not just themselves. And I think that's so sweet. And the same with Leighton. Like she's always so positive, and I just love being around her, and her mom too. I mean, and Madison's mom for that matter. She sent me some socks last year for cheer, and she's just the cutest. They're just the sweetest people. I love your guys' friends. I love all of your guys' friends. I think they're so kind and so much fun to be around. And I love when they come to our house. I love when you guys sit around in the kitchen and talk about whatever's going on, school, cheer, track, whatever it is. And I always feel like you guys are open to more people joining your friends too. Like, I don't feel like you guys are closed off, or you're always interested in helping other people, and your friends are the same way. So you guys are really lucky. I'd rather have one or two really good, solid friends than 100. Coming back, let's talk a little bit about the pressures and the mental load, what it's like in school right now. Whitney, what kind of pressures do you feel the most right now?
I would probably say in school with my grades, because right now in some of my classes, I mean, I'm doing good at all my classes, but like I want to like be able to get good grades, because I always hear people talking about how their GPAs, they have a really good GPA and they don't get into their college that they want. And I'm just a freshman, so I don't need to like be worrying about my GPA yet. But I just worry that I'm not going to be able to get into the college that I want.
Do you feel like school is putting that pressure on you, or are you putting the pressure on yourself?
Probably me putting on myself.
Yeah.
And like joining clubs and stuff. Like I didn't join any clubs this year, except for me and Olivia's club, but I didn't join any other clubs.
I feel like you felt overwhelmed this year.
Definitely.
Why do you feel like you were overwhelmed specifically this year, Whitney?
Because my classes were just not.
And they weren't fun because none of your friends were in your classes.
Yeah, basically.
Were you able to meet new friends?
Yeah, I met a lot of new people, or not new people, but like previous friends that I haven't talked to in a while that I now talk to again.
I think that's cool. Olivia, how do you cope with stress and anxiety?
I think ways that I cope with stress and anxiety are techniques I've gone through therapists, or like Shine or you. So like breathing techniques, or one that I really like is like a rock, and you just watch it as it goes back and forth in your hand, and also like talking to you or Whitney or Madison.
Yeah, I think that high school can be really stressful, but if you have someone to talk to about it and you feel comfortable asking questions about things that are maybe overwhelming to you, it helps so much. I know that you guys have friends that don't really have anyone they can talk to about things, and it makes such a world of difference that you're there to be able to talk to them about it, and that you have some of the tools, because you're also just a teenager. So
Right.
when you're giving friends advice, it's so helpful when you have like some tools in your tool belt to pass on to them, so that they could also feel less stressed, because I know that high school and friendships, it's a stressful time. College is coming up for you, Olivia, in 2 years, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And we're lucky to live in North Carolina. We have some insanely good schools here, public and private, and all around us. Opportunities that we wouldn't have had living in Illinois.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that you guys have these opportunities to live in a place where college is so accessible to you. And I'm so excited to see where you guys end up. Okay, let's talk about the mental health culture among like your peers, and really what's changing there. Are you seeing a lot of people that are having a lot of mental health issues?
Yeah, I would say so. I think a lot of girls are like really liking a lot of guys, and then those guys end up, cheating on them, or just they're like not interested, and then that just makes a lot of girls go a little sad.
So you're feeling like people are getting their validation from boys, and like in general, they're just getting their validation from boys. And that's where you're seeing a lot of girls struggling with their mental health.
Yeah.
Like they're not feeling pretty enough, or
Yeah.
cool enough, or smart enough, because they've given the power over to these boys in school.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the mental health culture among teens has been changing for boys and girls, I feel like I've seen and heard a lot of things about how a lot of girls and boys have been going through anxiety or depression, and they don't necessarily know who to talk to about it. Some of them don't. I know, like, some guys don't feel necessarily safe talking about it to their parents or even some of their close guy friends. So I think it's important for at least teenagers to have like one person that they think they can trust when they need to talk to someone about something.
Yeah. What do you think that their biggest concerns are in terms of mental health? Are they struggling with depression, anxiety?
I feel like depression, honestly, because I think as a whole, like at least at our school, everyone puts a lot of pressure on themselves, or the teachers put pressure on them, or their parents put pressure on them, for them to academically do great, but then also sports wise do great. Make sure you get your scholarship, make sure you're doing enough, make sure you're eating enough, make sure you're getting enough protein, make sure you're drinking enough water, like all the things. And at some points, it can just feel like way too much.
Yeah.
Is going on.
Any of your guy friends that are struggling, do you know if they have been able to get help?
Yeah, they have. They've been able to talk to people.
That's important.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you guys have some good their counselors and stuff like that at school.
Yeah.
What do you wish parents knew about your emotional world in high school?
I think one thing I wish parents would know is that, like, I feel like our moods fluctuate depending on what's going on in our life. Like, if something happened at school that you weren't excited about, or you got a bad grade on your test, or maybe you got a good grade on your test, everything is really just depending on your mood. Like, okay, everything really just depends on your mood from what's going on in your life, whether it's tests or people or sports. I think even though we act out sometimes, like maybe not in the best way, I think there's always a reason behind what's going on in our actions.
Okay, I think something that parents need to kind of realize is that we're not like emotionally mature adults, and that most kids are gonna have some sort of mental health, and you can't just like give them like a phone or whatever they're asking for and expect the mental health aspect of it to go away.
Love that.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a good reminder for parents, especially that have kids that are younger, like myself included, that it's important just to put down our own phone and make sure that we're paying attention, because I think that even the younger generations that are younger than you guys are struggling. I've seen it a lot in the middle school and the grade school, and they need more hands-on attention and less screens for sure. Well, now that we are back, I wanted to talk about what faith looks like in the high school. I think that being in the high school and being there firsthand, seeing like the high school cheerleaders and the football players, basketball players, the amount of faith I've seen is jaw dropping to me, because I never experienced that in high school. No one talked about God in high school. Nobody talked about Jesus ever, ever. I did have friends that were Christians and they believed in Jesus, but it was not something socially acceptable to be talking about. And I think that is changing enormously throughout the entire country, throughout the entire world right now. I think God is making a huge presence in everybody's life, regardless of whether they want it or not. He is here and he is in the center of this universe, like he should be, as he should be. The days of people pushing Jesus out is gone. And I feel like I see this huge revival, and in a public school literally makes me want to cry, because I remember we were at a game, and I think it was JV, and it was a football game. And why are you laughing? Oh, am I doing something weird? We were at a football game, and one of the kids got really, really hurt on the field from a different school. And immediately everyone started praying. I was like, are we allowed to do this? Like, what is happening right now? Oh my gosh. And everyone started praying. Everybody, regardless, they just did. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I'm so impressed with the kids at the school. And it is a big high school. And a lot of these kids that have come to Jesus, that have come to Christ, that have become Christians, don't even have parents that go to church. It's such a testament to you guys that you'll have friends sleep over at our house. Like, I remember one day we walked into church with like 11 girls. It was amazing. And they were praising Jesus and worshiping. And some of them have even brought their own families to church, which is amazing. I also think the reason why your group of friends are smaller is because the people that you surround yourself with matter to you. And it doesn't mean that you don't want to be friends with people that don't love Jesus. That's not what it means at all. We need to be friends with everybody. We need to be welcoming to everybody. It's just the people that you choose to spend the most amount of time with just also happen to love Jesus. That goes back to when we were talking about how who you surround yourself is who you become. Who you surround yourself with is who you become. And it's not even a question you don't even question it. You're like, absolutely, like, your friendships are Christ-centered. And I think that has helped you guys tremendously through high school in general, because high school is hard and friendships are hard. And when you have Christ at the center of it, it makes it a little bit easier. So Whitney, I'm going to start with you. How do you live out your faith in high school?
Something that I do, there are some things that I do to live out my faith in high school. Or probably, like trying to like bring up God in most of my conversations. I think he's definitely brought up multiple times a day. I remember one time we have like a year long-term sub right now. So he just lets us do whatever we want. Me and one of my friends, we had like an hour-long conversation about him, and that before every single time we would cheer and every single race that we do during track, me and all my friends, we make sure to pray over everyone and everything.
That's amazing. I remember seeing it for the first time when we moved down here, when Olivia was dancing, and her dance company all got together and prayed before the competition. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Because again, like, up in Illinois, you guys would never be doing this ever. There's no talk about Jesus. There's no talk about religion. And it's so sad, because when you look at pictures and you talk to people, it just feels so dark. Like, it feels so dark up there. And there's obviously lots of light. We still have a lot of friends that live up there, but it to me just seems so kind of sad. And I remember I posted a picture of you praying with your entire group. And I'm like, this is absolutely the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And you guys, we are not in the deep South. We're in North Carolina. It's basically the North, because everyone is an explant. That's not the right word. Everyone that lives here is not from here. Most of the people are from the North or California, or, they even come up from Florida. So it's a melting pot of lots of different kinds of people and stuff like that. Somehow they were praying, and I thought it was amazing. I posted this picture, and I remember someone from back home was like, well, what if you don't believe in Jesus? And I'm like, well, you don't have to pray then. But we're not going to stop what we're doing because one person maybe is offended by it. And I think that's one of the things that we learned down here, or learned from moving here and just from getting older and learning more things in general, was our confidence in who we are and what we believe in, and being confident in our convictions and speaking about them, and not being scared to say something because we're scared it's going to hurt someone's feelings, because Jesus is in charge, period. He is the reason that everybody is here. He has made all of us in his perfect image. And there is a lot of darkness going on in this world right now. And I know you guys see it in school. I know that we see it all over the place. I think that people don't realize that there is really like a third dimension that is at play all the time within our friendships, within our relationships. And that is Satan. And that is this spiritual warfare that I know a lot of people have heard about recently, whether it's in the news, but people are talking about spiritual warfare and how it plays a huge part in our every single day life. And your friends talk about it. Like the fact that you guys are talking about it now at 14 and 16 years old. And I have adult friends that think that it's pretend, not even real. Is what makes it hard being a Christian today?
Probably people always having something to say about it. Like what you said about the girl that commented on your post. Like everyone always has something to say about it, even if they're Christian, honestly.
Yeah.
So quick to judge.
Yeah.
Like, oh, someone's always like, oh, like, I don't even know. Like, someone will like if you post something and you have your Bible in it, someone will find something to say about it. Like, oh, that's in the back of your video. Like, you're not a real Christian.
Yeah. I think that it's probably a lot harder to, well, I think that it's easier now for you guys because I feel like you're very convicted in your beliefs. No one could tell you one way or the other, but how unencouraging is it that someone would look at a picture of you with your Bible and be like, oh, well, your Bible's in the background. You're not a real Christian. What? Like, how about you look so beautiful? Or I'm so proud of you for reading your Bible today. You know, like
just don't say anything. Like, you post a video and you're like going to church and you read the Bible. The next video that you make after you're in a crop top and someone's like, oh, you're not wearing something like holy or whatever. And they're like, that's not something a real Christian would do.
I think that people like to pick out things that are wrong with other people that they see wrong in themselves. And I think a lot of times when people are being unkind and questioning your motives and questioning what your intentions are, especially with Jesus, I think that they're questioning themselves. And I hope that people find encouragement not to take offense to that because at least they're asking questions or making the comments. It doesn't mean you have to engage with them. You can pray for them. That is not an easy thing to do. It's not easy to pray for someone that's not nice, but it's what we're called to do. Okay, so so we love to talk about God winks, or we see God like in our everyday life. Like, hey, we're here. Like Madison told us the other day that she wanted a strawberry acai refresher so bad. She's like, Miss Katie, I gotta tell you this. I wanted the strawberry acai refresher so bad, but God knew that I'm saving my money. And so she's like, I wasn't gonna get one because I'm saving my money. And I was in line with a friend of mine and they got their drink and the lady goes, do you want this strawberry acai refresher? I made an extra one. Her exact order and a Trente, which is that how you say it? Trenta, the largest size. And she was like, I see you, God. Thank you. Like she was being faithful with her money and not spending it, even though she wanted it. And she got rewarded for it. Does like the same things happen for you guys?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
It's probably my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Is when I'm doing something or I've prayed about something and then it's so incredibly obvious that it's from God.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just he doesn't have to do it, but it's just such a nice reminder that he's there and he hears you and he's battling battles for you that you don't know anything about. You guys, it's been so much fun interviewing you today. What's your favorite part about being a Christian?
My favorite part is probably just like the positivity that comes out of you from him, just being able to talk about him, being able to talk about him to other people, like just being like happy and bright and shining your light.
What kind of advice would you give yourself?
That I don't have to follow every single trend that I see.
Yeah, are you talking about like TikTok trends and stuff? Or like clothing trends? Let's not even get started with the skincare. What about you?
Probably to like live confidently and just do what makes you happy.
Read your Bible. Yeah, I love that. I'm so proud of both of you and so honored we got to have this conversation together. I hope all the moms and teens listening felt a little more seen and a little less alone. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend or leave us a review. Thank you for spending time with us on Invisible Strings. And until next time, keep showing up with grace and remember you're never walking through this life alone. Thank you for joining me today on this episode of Invisible Strings, where we've tugged at a few threads and hopefully left you with a smile and something to think about. Remember, life's connections might be invisible, but they're oh so strong. If you enjoyed today's chat, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could use a little string pulling in their life. Until next time, keep those invisible strings intact, and I'll see you back here soon for more heartfelt conversations and a dash of fun. Stay connected, stay kind, and keep untangling.